Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, this is Matsa Surba online English video lesson for grade 7 of SMP or MTS with me, Ratna Hidayati. Our topic today is We Love What We Do. Before we start the lesson, let's say the dua together. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Raditu billahi rabba wa bil islami dina wa bi Muhammadin nabiyya wa rasula. Rabbi zidni ilma warzuqni fahma waj'alni min ibadika sholihin. May Allah let our heart be filled with light and insight and understanding and knowledge. Amin. The Islamic base of our lesson today is Surah Al-Qasas, verse 26. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qalat ihdahuma ya abati istajirhu inna khayra man istajartal qawiyyul amin. One of the two daughters suggested, "Oh my dear father, hire him. The best man for employment is definitely the strong and trustworthy one." And the aim of our lesson today is, by the end of the lesson, you will be able to identify vocabulary and expressions to ask for and give information related to actions, functions of people, animals, and things in order to identify, to criticize, or to praise them. To start with, let's analyze this dialogue. This is a dialogue between Miss Mutia, an English teacher, with her students. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Mutia. Today, we are going to learn about job and professions. Benny, what does your father do? My father is a farmer. He plants and grows rice. That's great. What about you, Dayu? What does your father do? He is a teacher. He teaches mathematics in junior high school. That is wonderful. Lisa, how about your mother? What does she do? She is a housewife. She takes a good care of us and our house. That's excellent. What does your mother do, Udin? She's a surgeon. She performs operations on her patients. That is excellent. How about you, Edo? What do you do? I'm a student. That's good. Now, do you want to know what your other friends' parents do? Yes, we do. Okay, from the dialogue, please look at this one. A question, what does your father do? And the answer is, my father is a farmer. What about the next question? The same question. What does your father do? He is a teacher. And the next question, how about your mother? What does she do? Okay, she's a housewife. What does your mother do, Udin? She is a surgeon. Okay, and the last question, how about you, Edo? What do you do? I am a student. Okay, right. So, can you conclude? Okay, the questions, what does, and then subject plus do here is asking about a profession. Okay, what does your father do? What does your mother do? Or what do you do? Okay, they are all asking about professions. Right. Okay, let's continue the analysis. Okay, please look at the red sentences. Okay, the sentences that is typed in red. He plants and grows rice. He teaches mathematics in junior high school. She takes good care of us and our house. She performs operations on her patients. Right. What do you think the sentences are? Okay, right. They are all about what the professions do, right? So these are the activities of the professions. Okay, now try to look at each profession that we have just discussed. Okay, Miss Mutia asked Benny, okay, Benny, what does your father do? And then Benny answers, my father is a farmer. He plants and grows rice. So actually what Miss Mutia asks here is, what does your father do? Is asking about the profession. My father is a farmer. That is the answer. And he plants and grows rice here, okay, is a further explanation about what a farmer does. Okay. Now let's continue the second question and answer. Okay, still asking about professions. How about you, Dayu? What does your father do? He is a teacher. He teaches mathematics in junior high school. Okay, and then the next. Lisa, how about your mother? What does she do? She is a housewife. She takes good care of us and our house. Okay, next. What does your mother do, Udin? She's a surgeon. She performs operations on her patients. How about you, Edo? What do you do? I'm a student. I always study every day. Right. So, to ask about profession, you can say what, do, and then subject plus do. Okay, so the subject here depends on who we are talking about, who we are asking about. Okay? Okay, now let's focus on what the activities of the professions. What do they do? What does a farmer do? A farmer. Okay, one subject, right? If we want to answer, he plants and grows rice. Okay, this one is one subject. So we add s after the verb, right? What about the next example? What does a mathematics teacher do? He teaches mathematics. What does a housewife do? She takes a good care of her family and house. What does a surgeon do? She performs operations on her patients. Okay, is that clear now? Okay, now let's continue talking about habits. Okay, habits here means that something that is done by someone, by a person, okay, regularly. Okay, so this person does this activity frequently. Okay, it's almost routine, right? So let's study this dialogue. Okay, this is a dialogue in a classroom between Siti and Benny. Good morning, Benny. Good morning, Siti. How are you today? I'm doing very well. You arrive very early. Do you arrive early every day? Yes, I do. I always come to school early. I always leave home at 6. I don't want to be late. Benny, do you clean the classroom by yourself? Dayu is not here. She's late. Don't worry. I will help you clean the classroom. Thank you, Siti. You always help other people. You are welcome, Benny. Okay, from the dialogue, we can see, okay, always. Okay, and here we also use always. Okay, another one, this one is also using always. Great. Always here means, okay, something that is done routinely. Okay, do you arrive early every day? So every day, okay, every day, always come to school early. So never come late. Okay, and then I always leave home at 6. Okay, here is what Siti usually do. Okay, Siti usually does. Yeah. Now, what about this one? Okay. Benny says, thank you, Siti. You always help other people. Okay. This is Siti's habit to help other people. Okay. Okay, let's continue to dialogue 2. At Dayu's home. Dayu, let's study together again tomorrow. Do you study every day? Yes, I do. I always study every day. That's why you always get good grades. You always study every day. I do. And I enjoy it. Okay, so a habit is something that is routine. Okay, something that people usually enjoy doing it. Okay, look at this. Always study every day. Okay, always get good grades and okay, always study every day, right? So this is something that always done. Okay, let's continue with the next dialogue. Dialogue 3, at school. Okay, this is a dialogue between Lisa and Edo. Lisa, let's go jogging tomorrow. What time? At 6 a.m. Okay. Do you always go jogging every weekend? Not only on weekend, I usually go jogging 3 times a week. That's why you always look fit. Thank you. Okay, I'll be at your house at 6 a.m. tomorrow. See you. See you, Edo. Right. Okay, look at this. Always. Yeah, again, always. So we can say something that is done routinely here is can be daily or weekly or monthly or yearly. Okay, and this one is what Lisa asking is every weekend. So he asked what how often, yeah, how often Edo does the jogging. Okay, right, usually. Okay, so Edo usually jogs, okay, 3 times a week. So not only on weekend, but 3 times a week. Okay, okay, always look very fit. You always look very fit. Okay, you here is Edo, right? Okay, because Edo has a habit, okay, a good habit, okay, doing jogging. Okay, let's continue. Okay, now let's focus on adverb of frequency, or words that shows how often an activity is done. Okay, when we mean it's 100%, the frequency is 100%, we use always. The example is, I always study after classes. Okay, and then we use usually when it's 90%. Okay, I usually walk to work. Okay, and then normally or generally, here is 80%. I normally get good marks. Okay, and when it's 70%, we use often or frequently. Okay, the example is, I often read in bed at night. And then when it's 50%, we use sometimes. Okay, I sometimes sing in the shower. Sorry. Okay, and then when it's 30%, we use occasionally. I occasionally go to bed late. And then when it's only 10%, we use seldom. I seldom put salt on my food. And then when it's 5%, okay, hardly ever or rarely, okay. The example is, I hardly ever get angry. And then when 0%, okay, we use never. Vegetarians never eat meat. Okay. Okay, let's have some more examples. Okay, please notice the differences between the left column and the right column. Okay, I will read the sentences for you. I will read the left column first. I always walk to school. You often help. We sometimes go to the beach on Sunday. They never eat meat. The boys seldom take a nap. Okay, let's look at the subject first. Okay, the subject of the left column, okay, are I, you, or plural noun. Right, let's see. Number 1 here is using I, and the number 2, okay, is using you, and the rest are using plural subjects. Okay, now please look at each verb. Walk, help, go, eat, take a nap. Okay, now let's have the examples on the right column. I will read the sentences one by one for you. She never comes late. He always studies every day. It usually sleeps in the afternoon. My father seldom puts salt on his food. The boy often goes to the park. Okay, what about the subject of the right columns here? Okay, let's see. The subject here are, okay, they are all singular. It means that we only have one subject in each sentence. Look at this. She. Okay. She, female, one only. And then he, female. Male, one only. And then it, here, this one, it usually sleeps, okay? It refers to an animal, of course, yeah? It usually sleeps in the afternoon, okay? My father, one person. The boy, one person. Right, okay. And now, please notice the verb. Comes, studies, sleeps, puts, goes. Right. All these verbs are added with s or es. Let's look at the ending of each verb. Okay. Come become comes. Study becomes studies. Sleep become sleeps. Put become puts. Go become goes. Right? So what can you conclude? Great. Okay. When the subject is I or you or plural, okay, if we talk about habits, of course, yeah. If we talk about habits, when the subject is I, you, or plural nouns, okay, we use verb that is not added with anything. Okay, so walk, help, no addition. Okay, and for singular subjects, okay, for one noun only, okay, such as she, he, it, my father, the boy, right, we add the verb with s or es. Okay, Right. Now that you have learned professions and also the activities, okay, also the frequency, adverb of frequency that shows habit, let's have a comprehension checking. Okay, I give you an example here, and hopefully this example will help you when doing the following task later. Okay, look at this. Okay, study the dialogue. Okay, this is a dialogue between Edu and Benny. Benny, let's go to school early tomorrow so we can study together before the English test. I'm sorry, I can't. I help my mom wash the dishes before I go to school. Do you always help your mother every morning? Yes, I do. I always help my mom whenever I can. That's great. Hey, let's study together this afternoon. We don't need to wait until tomorrow. Yeah, sure. That's a good idea. Okay. Now look at the first question. What is the dialogue talking about? What do you think? Can you answer? Right. The first here, okay, Edo is asking Benny to study together, right? But Benny cannot do that, okay? And then Benny suggests, okay, to study together this afternoon, okay? So from the first until the end of this dialogue, okay, they are talking about study together. Okay, right. So this is about planning to study together, right? Okay, now number 2. Question number 2. What is Benny like? And how do you know that? Okay, to describe what Benny like, okay, you need to have some proofs. Okay, so if you can find the proof, okay, you will know, okay, what Benny is like. Okay, so the answer is he is diligent. How do you know that he is diligent? Okay, how do we know? Let's check. Okay, the first one is I help my mom wash the dishes before I go to school. Okay, someone always helps his mom. Okay, means that he's diligent, right? Okay, and then the second proof is, yes, I do. I always help my mom whenever I can. Okay, right. So this two proofs, okay, indicates that he is a diligent boy. Okay, now let's continue to the third question. Why are they going to study English together? Why do you think? Okay, here from the first statement by Edo, okay, so we can study together before the English test. Okay, so what do you think? Why they are studying together? They plan to study together. Okay, right, before the English test means that, okay, because they are going to have an English test, right? Okay, so they need to study together. Right. Now, what about number 4? Why does Edo think it is a good idea to study together? Okay. Look at this. Because they can study together. Okay. Why it's good to study together that afternoon, okay, right? Because by studying together at the afternoon, okay, they can do their plan, okay, and also Benny still can help his mom, right? Okay, so we cannot find the proof here, but we can answer that by concluding what is implied in this dialogue, right? Okay, and here is the dialogue for you to have an exercise. Exercise 1. In this exercise, for this dialogue, okay, based on this dialogue, there will be 5 questions. Okay, and okay, what you have to do is read the dialogue very carefully, okay, and then find the comprehension questions on the Google form of your Google Classroom. Okay, you also have to answer the questions on the Google Classroom. Okay, I will read the dialogue for you. It's a dialogue between Hamza and Anindita. Hi Anindita. Hi Hamza, please come in. Thank you. Anindita, is the man in the garden your father? No, he is Mr. Bram, our gardener. Your father is a chef, isn't he? Yes, he is a chef for Hotel Alamanda. What does your father do as a chef? He manages the hotel's kitchen and cooks food for the guests of the hotel. I see. Okay, I hope you can answer the questions on the Google form very easily and correctly, of course. Okay, now exercise 2. Let's continue exercise 2. Okay, look at this. Okay, there are 5 pictures. The first picture is a waiter. Okay, the second is a picture of a dentist. The third is a teacher. The fourth is a surgeon. And the fifth is a soldier. Okay, and the instruction says, match the sentences on the Google form of your Google Classroom with the correct picture. Okay, so there will be 5 sentences, okay, that is related to the professions. And what you have to do is match, okay, the sentences with the appropriate picture. Okay, please do that very carefully and don't forget to submit it on time. Good luck. Okay, after having the exercises, now let's have the summary of the lesson. Okay, from the lesson, okay, we have learned how to ask and answer professions and their duty in English. We also learned to talk about habit. Okay, we have to pay attention to the use of the verbs when we talk about habits. Okay, the use of the verb depends on the subject of the sentence. We usually use adverb of frequency to show how often someone does the activity. And there are information implied in a dialogue that we can infer by understanding the expressions used in the dialogue. Okay, students, this is the end of this slide. Okay, let's say hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thank you so much for your attention. We will see you again on my next video lesson. Okay, that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.